The haunted midnight bus of Beijing. You all must have heard of mysterious things like a mythical creature being spotted somewhere or someone experiencing something out of this world. People have even claimed to have seen aliens on above. People have came out with their own experiences about having encountered something that is not easy to believe. Most of the time we don't even believe what the person is saying, no matter how hard they try. For them it's just a story. People ignore it by saying that why it ever happens to them or why they don't feel it. Well, what is there are several people witnessing it and there is nothing to prove it wrong. Yes, this incident is something that happened in and to a bus, so it is witnessed by more than one person. There are even many things to prove that the incident is nothing normal. The incident took place in November of 1995. Bus number 375 off from Yuanmin in Beijing, China. The bus had 2 passengers and driver and conductor. The bus passengers were a student and an old lady. At one stop a couple enters the bus. Everything was normal and fine until the bus stopped for 2 persons. It was quite late and the bus was the last bus on that route. So, the driver stooped the bus to let them come in. But when the bus stopped they saw that it was not 2 but 3 people. There were 3 people, in which 2 of them have old, the third one as he was sick or unconscious. They entered the bus and everyone was quite surprised to see them. All of them had clothes that were used in the era of 1600 to 1900s. But they ignored it. Another thing that was a little weird about them was that their skin was too white. It did not seem natural, it was almost pale. The bus conductor jokingly said that they might be actors and that's why they had this uniform and makeup on them. The bus continued on its way. Later on a stop, the couple who took the bus earlier got off. Now there were 7 people in the bus. The old lady was sitting in the middle seat and the student was sitting in front of her, and the 3 people who got in earlier were sitting behind her. The lady was continuously looking at the passengers sitting behind her. The haunted midnight bus of Beijing. Suddenly she started yelling that the boy who was sitting in front of her has stolen her purse. She complains to conductor that the boy has stolen her purse. But the boy kept refusing and said that how can he take her purse when is the one sitting ahead of her. He kept on insisting that it's impossible for him to take the purse from her. The allegation turns into an argument and the old lady demands to go to the police station straight from the bus. But the driver cannot go out of the route he was supposed to follow. So, he suggests that they go to the police station on their own. The bus stops at one of the bus stop and both the lady and the student get off the bus. As both of them get off the bus, the boy asks the lady why she was wrongly accusing him. The lady told him that all that she did was to save both of their lives. The boy got confused and asked her to clarify what she was talking about. The lady told him that she was continuously keeping an eye on those 3 persons. One time she saw that they had no legs when a blow of air came from wind. She also told him that the faces of those three people kept on changing and were getting bizarre. The boy was unable to believe cause he did not saw anything like that. Both of them went to police station and told the police everything that happened. Police usually thought that both of them had an argument and the lady was old, so she might have had some misconception. They get their information and then tell them to leave the haunted midnight bus of Beijing, but next morning a shocking thing happens. Bus number 375 never reached the bus depot. The bus was supposed to come back to its depot after its last route, but it never did. The manager tried everything, but he was not able to find anything about the bus. There was no information about the bus, the driver and conductor, and the passengers of the bus. Now the missing of the bus was reported to the police and they started looking for the bus. The CCTVs were available, so police started checking the footage. But shockingly, the bus was not captured in of the camera after the lady and the boy got of the bus. There were 4 more stops after that and the BU was not captured on any of them. But them remember about how the old lady and the boy came to report the same bus. They call them again and start asking questions. The old lady repeats the whole scenario and tells them everything she told last night. The news spread like wildfire and it was everywhere. The description given by the old lady led to everyone on the same conclusion that the 3 men she was talking about were none other than ghosts. Soon a report is made about a bus being drowned in a river in Beijing. They checked the bus and it was the same missing bus. They checked the bus and find 5 dead bodies in the bus. This was not all. The bodies of driver and conductor were not that rotten as the bodies of the 3 men. The bodies of the men were totally decomposed and it was not possible to happen in 2 days. And even if it was, then why it did not happen to all the bodies? The autopsy showed that the driver and conductor died from drowning, but the 3 men were dead before bus got into water. It was all a mystery in itself when the manager of the bus revealed something more mysterious. The manager told the police that the buses are fueled up at the depot only and the refill is made only for the bus to complete its route. The drivers are not allowed to fuel up the buses anywhere else. If the driver tries that, it would lead him to losing his job. In order to confirm if the driver did refill the fuel or not, the police checked the fuel tank and it was another unsolved mystery. The fuel tank was full of blood. It was all kept on getting mysterious and mysterious. So there were a lot of questions like how did bus went at the place it was found when it was 100 km far from its stop point. Secondly, how did they die and what happened to those 3 men? Who were they, and why their bodies were so decomposed? The questions are still unanswered and people still don't know what really happened on that bus. This became a legend in China and people stopped using the Route 375 totally. The route was considered haunted after the incident, and the mystery of the midnight bus is still unsolved.